Hello everyone, I have already been crowned King of the World 11 times and I was getting sick of it. So I decided to go on vacation to the warm, sunny hills of Antarctica. Little did I know that this was the worst decision I could have ever made in my entire life. It turns out my real reason for going to Antarctica was to complete a secret mission. My mission was to capture 4 of the 8 control points in Antarctica and free the continent from the Nazis. It wasn't going to be easy though, because the Nazis controlled almost all of Antarctica. I began moving deeper into Nazi territory and managed to capture 4 provinces with no casualties, but there was still a long way to go. Got into a brief war with Poland after he attacked me for 1 province. After I crushed Poland, I began moving in on the Fenris lair. This was going to be a very hard city to take because it was heavily defended, and I brought in the best troops I could for this mission. This was no ordinary lair. It was a max security fortress. The battle raged on all night, and eventually I broke through. After I took the city, I began to score many victories. Soon, I was approaching my first control point, Hornburg. I'd also sent a submarine on a 2-day journey to spy on Brazil. I was certain that Brazil was going to be my greatest rival. Capturing Hornburg was a breeze. Since the city was so heavily defended, I began shelling it, and my artillery gained a retreat. There, many tanks were there to meet the enemy attackers, and then I brought in speed units to take the city. Poland began attacking again, and I had to use precious planes and tanks to repel the attack. I tried to defeat Poland as quickly as possible because I was gearing up for an attack against Brazil. Many nations flocked to my cause because of my clever use of propaganda. I convinced everyone that Brazil was the real threat, not me. These were the results of my efforts. Brazil, however, proved to be too powerful. He collected the 4 control points with ease, and we now had less than 3 days to stop him. My plan was to launch a full assault on one of his control points, then sneak in 8 paratrooper units. While I fought Brazil in the center of the map, Pakistan was fighting in the south, and Argentina in the east. Great Britain did not contribute any troops, but he did contribute valuable information to help me plan my attack on Brazil. After hours of careful preparation, the attack was finally happening. I launched small diversion attacks in the north and south, but the real attack was actually happening through paratroopers. The paratroopers' mission was to take an airfield just outside of the control point, and then fly in and capture it. They had to hurry though, because time was ticking. After I took the airfield, I split up my forces. One half stayed in the airfield to mobilize, while the other tried to take the control point by foot. This was the beginning of the war between France and Brazil. About an hour into the war, Brazil took out my airfield, and now 10 of my planes were stranded. It was hopeless. With just 19 hours left, we had been defeated. Our northern and southern armies had been crushed, and our central army was completely wiped out. One lesson that I learned from this war, however, was that whenever you were down, you always get back up. Argentina and Israel had joined the war, and now things were turning in our favor. The Southern Army began an almost suicidal charge to take the control point. The war lay in their hands. Sadly, they failed. After everything we went through, it still wasn't enough, and we ended up in 2nd place.